Living the dream.
Oh, I'm a tight swinger, mate.
And he gets to see my face every week, so I mean, how lucky is he? Absolute professionals at this. We do put it on YouTube.
I'm genuinely impressed, mate. Genuinely impressed.
Edit that. We'll cut that bit out. Happy Dad Tales Day.
Happy Dad Tales Day, my friend.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Welcome, Season 2, Episode 17.
Professionals always, are you? Straight in there with them.
Back in Studio 3, aren't we?
Yeah. So why was Studio 3? Because I'm on Freedom Day. Freedom! But why are we stuck in the studio?
Because I've now got the lurgy.
I've
had the lurgy.
Dirty rona.
I'm coming towards the end of my lurgy days, but man, I don't think I know anybody who it's not affected yet. Well, either they've had it, or the partner's had it, or one of the kids have had it, or it's just rife everywhere at the moment.
Do you know what's annoying me? You got COVID, like when I'm thinking I'm nearly out of COVID, and you're coming out near enough the same time as me. What's that all about?
I think
it feels like you've had it for like a day. I feel like I've had it for like weeks.
I think it feels like that my body's probably just better than yours. It can just repel against it.
Man. I just couldn't get a negative test out of my body.
You're just so stingy that you wanted to keep it longer and longer.
Yeah. Keep my money's worth out of it. That's what I was.
To be fair, because it's gone through your family, I bet it does feel like you've had it for weeks, doesn't it?
Honestly, I'm talking to you and you're like, yeah, I've had a negative day 6, whatever. I'm thinking, I've had to do the full 10 days and some, because obviously everyone was all locked up beforehand. There was no point in me doing it all. Painful. Painful.
But you're free now.
I'm free and I'm back to work tomorrow. Can he wait?
Do you feel a bit anxious about coming out?
But, I'm not coming out as in like that sort of coming out.
Come on. You know you've been hiding it for so long.
I've been out.
This wedding thing was just a facade, wasn't it?
Don't tell everyone. I've been out today though, so now I'm alright going out. Went for a nice long walk.
I'm a bit worried.
Are you?
I don't know why. It's been a really weird week.
I feel like you shouldn't be out.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get your one's going to go out early. I'd been saying, if I'd have got out early, I'd been like, oh, what are people going to say? Because they know I've not done my 10 days or whatever. But you've legitimately got yourself out. Noah's out early. Noah's going to be a day 6 outer.
Yeah. I think that's probably what I worry too much about what other people think. And I think that's something that I need to get into 2022 by going, not that I don't care what other people think, but I should care less.
Yeah, I'm same as you. And I think sometimes I overthink things, or I'm too bothered about what other people are going to think or if it's going to affect them. When 9 times out of 10, people do something and it's I'm not selfish is the wrong word, but they've done something for in their own interest. It's affected me, and I think, oh, thanks for that. But I don't do that. So I think I need to be a bit more, not selfish is the wrong word, but a bit more me time type thing.
I know exactly what you mean. Or just stop being an overthinker.
Well, yeah, I think that. I don't say not being a nice guy either, but maybe a bit more ruthless. Because I am one of these people that will try and please everyone. It's in my nature. You know, I don't like to say no. It's that I will happily try and help or do something which will have some sort of hindrance somewhere along the lines.
You're a people pleaser, mate. Don't think that's a bad thing.
It's not, but it's tiring.
I can imagine. How's your week lockdown been?
Awful, mate. Just absolutely awful. I've hated it. I've absolutely hated it. It's been awful. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It has been awful, mate. How's yours been?
Awful, because I've realised I've always said I'm not too worried about having my own company. But when people tell you can't have any company, it's like you shut off.
Yeah.
You know, I can still talk to people on phone. We can still FaceTime. We talked quite a lot this week, and that's nice. But it's like you're told you can't go out before.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry for people in prison.
I don't feel sorry for them. There's a reason why they're there.
I've also realised I'm just lazy. I've had a really, really lazy week. I've worked. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not ill, so I've been able to work from home. That's fine. But when I'm kind of thinking, well, I can't go out tonight. I can't do anything. Why don't I make my time spent better? And I just haven't.
No, this is one thing that really, really annoyed me. Do you know when we had the first lockdown and stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh, use this time wisely and learn a new skill or do something like this." I couldn't be bothered. The stress and the strains of the whole COVID and the whole, like, I was more bothered about looking after my family than I was thinking, oh, I might learn a new language and stuff. And the people that really annoyed me come out, oh yeah, I can now juggle, I can play the piano, I can play the guitar. I'm like, oh my god, those people. I was like, oh my god, get them. Like, I don't know. It's human nature. It's like just, it's tiring.
I do think as well, though, we both worked through the first lockdown.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like the people that were just sat literally doing nothing, going, yeah, actually, you could do, get online, do a qualification, learn something, like say, learn a new skill. We worked through it. So it wasn't like we just sort of sat doing nothing all day.
No, but the times where you couldn't go do something in my spare time is where I probably should have been more productive. But I was more bothered that I think it was more the stress of having to work and stuff through it. But then when I got home, I was like, I just want to spend time with my family. Whereas, like, normally them times I spent with my family going on days out and stuff. So I've got an excuse to go, yeah, I've not learned Spanish because I've been with my family here, there, and everywhere. Whereas there wasn't really an excuse, but it just annoyed me the fact that people just didn't go, calm, get back to yourself. I mean, think about yourself.
Out of all the things that you should potentially do, learning Spanish should not be anywhere near the top of your list.
Why is that?
Because you can speak fluent. You can ask for coffee, can't you?
That's it. That's it.
What else do you need? And there's way more things that are way more important that you need. But I mean, learn to speak English first.
There is that.
Do that and then start from there. Then pick something else. So
So
we've both had a pretty crappy week then, haven't we?
yeah. So onwards and upwards.
Well, it can't get much worse. 2022's not started the best.
Not say that because Boris will be calling some sort of bloody lockdown next. Don't you be saying that sort of jive? It can't get any worse.
Yeah.
There'll be this new super variant where that's it. No contact to anybody. Everyone has to be in their own rooms, even if you live in the same household. Don't you be talking? Can't get any worse.
Oh, good golly, you're right. I had a bit of a Britney Spears moment this morning and just decided to shave my head.
I like it.
I just went a bit cuckoo and thought, yeah, do you know what? Let's just do it.
Now, when you say shave your head, just for the listeners out there, it's not shaved head like my shaved head. You've just taken it down a couple of notches, haven't you?
Yeah, it's very short.
Yeah.
It won't stick up.
Yeah, but I shave my head, my friend. I go back to wood, like skin ball. That's shaving your head. Do that. See what you look like doing that.
I did that before when we had that first lockdown, didn't I? Do you not remember?
You didn't go skinhead.
Did.
What, big razor? You
right
went
to the bone.
I need to see a photo. I think you got big razor.
I don't think I could. I've got a weird shaped head.
Yeah, you have.
Should we do this week's question?
Well, I was going to say, should we kick things off where we left things last week? We're going to start off with a challenge. We'll talk about the challenge, things off. That's where we left the podcast last week. Because obviously we said we're going to do a challenge. So we've gone off our own ways and we've chose 3 things we want to do. Let's say like fitnessy out of this. There's 3 goals we want to do hitting fitness, really. Try and get a better body and stuff like that. One of mine is a 5K challenge, which you're trying to do the same challenge, are you? 5K.
We'll do the same, yeah.
So we did say when we first started this that obviously it's a personal thing, but we are going to go head to head and see who can do the better in the long run. But it's still a personal thing because we've got different abilities, different sizes, and all that jazz. So mine for my 5K, I want to get my 5K under 23 minutes.
23 minutes. That's going to be pretty impressive. That
it is for size of me.
And we are talking running, aren't we? You're not like cycling or driving.
Well, if I'm cycling it, I've got a big problem. I must have a flat tire or something.
Yeah, so we're both going to do that.
Yeah. So have you got a time in mind? Because I know you said you was going to go out for a run, but obviously Dirty Rona got in the way.
Yeah, I think under 30 minutes for me.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm probably well above that at the moment. In fact, I say well above that. I know I did Great North Run this year, and I only just trained over 5K, so that was never, over 10K, so that was never good. But yeah, I'm probably talking, at the moment, if I went out now, I don't even think I'd run 5K, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I'd probably get round, I could run and walk, it'd probably take me about 35 minutes, probably. So if I get it under 30, I think I'll be happy with it.
Nice. And then my second one then lays itself into it. So currently I weigh 115 kilos, give or take a couple of ounces. So I'm around the 115 kilo, but I want to get myself down to 95 kilos. So I want to get myself down to that sort of me fighting weight, I should say. Which obviously at this moment in time, 115 kilos running 5K isn't going to be pretty. So I'm hoping if I can get myself down to the 95 kilos, the two will come in tandem with each other, especially where I've had my body at one point as a lean, mean running machine that it used to be.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what my weight is at the moment. I got weighed the other day, and I'm sure my scales are playing tricks on me. So I don't really have a weight in
Was
mind.
it ERRR? Is that what the weight came up as?
Yeah, it said no elephants on these scales, please.
1 foot at a time, please.
The thing is with my weight is that I don't necessarily weigh myself regular, but I know when I'm feeling
Yeah.
lighter. And I know when I'm feeling fitter, like a lot of people do. It's not really a guy's thing to do, is it, weight?
No, I've always been the thought of I don't weigh myself because my body shape changes dramatically a lot. I can make my body shape change quite easily. I can make it gain weight really quick and easy. But same with the vice versa. My body shape can change, but I don't seem to change weight. Or I've always found historically I don't change weight. It's only in the last, I don't know, a couple of years I've seen my weight go up. I've actually got heavier on the scales where I've always been, I put a bit of weight on my belly, but the scales don't really reflect it from time to time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm hoping I don't just plateau now at 115. I could be in impeccable shape. I'm still 115 kilos. I hope not.
I think my thing with getting weighed is that I like data. I like them numbers, and I like to kind of see. Although I will start to feel fitter with myself, I want to see the scale sort of, I suppose, clarifying that, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. So I do want to lose it. And again, when it comes to running, I'm only going to get better and quicker at running the
yeah.
lighter I am.
Like, which was right. Like when I trained for Ironman, I stopped weighing myself because at one point, part of my program was to do like a regular weigh-in. And I stopped doing it because it was disheartening because although I was leaner, I was loads leaner, but the just it's not reflecting on the scales. So I get on the scales, I'm like, I've gained like 2 pounds. What's going on? But that's the reflection of gaining muscle mass and things like that, and losing body fat, but gaining muscle mass, but
Yeah,
looking better. And it's all those tricks of the things that happen in fitness. Because I don't know, we know that sometimes the scales out at the end, are they? Let's be honest. But it's a good indicator for me because I'm probably in a bad shape. It's probably the worst shape I've been in. So therefore, no matter what, hopefully my weight should come down. I don't think I'll stay this sort. Even if I bulked up like Tom, what's his name? Strongman. I forgot his name then.
Tom Stoltman.
Stoltman, yeah. Tom Stoltman, world's strongest man.
I thought it was going to go Tom Hardy.
Nah.
No. Right, what's your third one?
So I want to get back into a 34-inch waist, get back into my jeans. I've got some jeans in my cupboard. I've got 2 pairs that are 34 that I can't get into. So I am now a snug 36, 38. Yeah, I'm a baggy 38 and I put a 36 on the tight. So I need to get the other way around where 36 is baggy and a 34 is snug.
We all have them clothes in our wardrobe, mate. The aspiring clothes. You have them at one end.
The back of cupboard screwed up. I get them out every now and then, flick all dust off, and then fold them up and put them back in.
See if there's a 5-root pocket.
Yeah, I don't even attempt to put my legs in them anymore. I used to sometimes put my legs in and go, maybe next year. I stopped doing that. So I need to get them out. They're not even special jeans either. They're just a nice pair of jeans that I didn't want to part with because they're still all right.
That's it, mate. We'll get into. Well, I say we'll get into. I might get into them with you.
One leg each.
That probably what we'll manage. My final one is I want to reduce my metabolic age. My metabolic age is 10 years older than I am, so that's a lot. So I need to work on that. Obviously, weight's going to help with that. Building muscle is going to help with that. It's an all-rounder, really, for me, trying to get that down. 10 years is an awful lot. I mean, I know I look 10 years older than I am. I suppose it should go up because we are going to have this as a little bit of a competition of what we can do, but we are each other's support network as well.
Yep.
So I'm going to call you out if you're not training, if you're not exercising. And
I want you to absolutely shame me. I want you to proper shame me because I think that's probably something I've missed. So when I was doing Ironman, I had like a training partner and things like that. And I got into the habit of just training on my own. But when I got trained, I can just, I don't know. I'm in freewheeling mode. I can't remember the last time I genuinely was focused on something fitness wise that I went at hard. Like even when I've done like after the Ironman and things like that, I did 10Ks and 5Ks and triathlon. I was in Easy Street. I want putting me all in like I was training for that. I need a focus, and I think now's time. Get myself into a lean, mean fighting machine.
The annoying thing about you is that you are still fit, though, aren't you?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are. You know, you could go out, you could cycle. If we put you on a bike now, you'd cycle 100 miles, couldn't you?
I'd like to say so, but I doubt it. I think I might go.
Well, yeah, that's a fair one. And you could run fairly comfortably if your body holds up. That's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my problem. Body holding up.
Muscles and stuff. But you teach classes regular. You're an active person. You're not really lazy. You know, you're busy at work. You're up and down. You've got kids. You know, shipping here, there, and everywhere. So you are active, which is annoying because I know that you'll just get straight into this and go, yeah. I'm gonna. The difficult thing for you is, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, is that it's keeping it going.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll get into the next couple of weeks and go, really, yeah, hell for leather, I'm going to do this. Then it'll come to end of January and you'll go, I don't need to run this week, I'll run next week.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with how I look. Because that's how I've got myself into this position where I got myself too comfortable with not too bothered how I was. And that's dangerous. I think it's dangerous. I think you should be comfortable in your own body. That's you should be comfortable with how you are. But I got to the point where I'm just like, yeah, not bothered. Not bothered that there's weight hanging over my hips and things like that. Whereas take me back 5 years or so, you wouldn't have had me that. I'd be more body conscious, put it that way.
What you need to get them genes out. You need to be able to see them every day. You need to be able to go, that's my goal. You know, like when you'd stick a picture on fridge of yourself in the bad times.
I might actually do that. Because that's another thing. My problem is I can go all day eating pretty all right, not too bad, not really snacking. I get at night time and by heck, it's like I haven't been fed all day. I just can't stop it. Yeah, I'm in that kitchen like a yo-yo. I need door and kitchen locking. It's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Hey-ho.
Right, so we'll keep dropping in, won't we, on these challenges, see how we're getting on.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to join us as well, if anybody wants to be part of this, and we'll support each other and just getting through your own personal goals, and we'll call each other out if we need to.
Yeah, definitely.
Just let us know. Right, let's do this week's question.
Let's do this. Go on then, hit us with it.
So this week's question is Dave from Doncaster. And he says, what were your biggest fears about becoming a parent? Can you remember?
Yeah, well, I was young, not as young as you, but I was young. So, like for me, the scary thing was I didn't feel like I was old enough for myself, responsible enough. Like even now, I'm 34. Sometimes I look around and go, how am I being put in charge of these two kids?
I think that daily.
The thing as well is, I tell you what I've learned. I've learned that my parents didn't know what they were doing either. Do you know you used to always think, you look up to your parents and stuff and you think, oh, they know exactly what they're doing. No, they didn't. Because it's proof in the pudding now. I don't even know what I'm doing. And now I'm their age when, I was thinking, what is going on here? But yeah, my biggest scary thing was, not that am I ready for this, but as in like, do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That was exactly mine. I don't think, because I was, when I was expecting with Ellie, I was only 17. I was 18 when she was born. So I don't think fear was there. It wasn't like, oh no, I'm going to be a parent. Because I genuinely don't think that registered in my brain.
Yeah.
My brain wasn't old enough to kind of take that in. But what I do remember is not knowing what to do about anything. You know, like I don't have younger brothers and sisters. I don't have any cousins, nieces. Well, I've got nieces, but I didn't play a lot in when there was a baby.
Yeah.
So mine was things like making bottles, changing nappies. I didn't know about like baby grows and stuff like that, and all things like that. And then as you go on, you're like, well, when do you? I thought you just took your kid to school on first day.
Yeah, not
I didn't realise you have to register and things like that.
I quite like this school. I'll bring you to this one. This one looks good. Look there. Go with you.
They've got a lovely uniform. I'll take her there. And it was things like that as you sort of go along. It's like the next stage of it all. When somebody's, even like registering your child when they're born.
Yeah,
is that a thing? Do they not do that at the hospital?
I'm with on that because I'm the same as you. I'm like the youngest of my lot, and then obviously I've got a nephew, but once again, I was too young to be playing a role, and with me being a boy, I never really had to do with him until he got to like 10. By then, all the baby stuff's out of the window. Do you know what I mean? So, not that I never any practice, but I didn't know all this sort of things.
Yeah, and you literally just. I don't even think like I just took lead. I was just told what to do. Make them bottles. Tell me how to make them. How do you do this? Sterilizing a thing. Yeah, it is. Everything needs to be sterilised. Then you need to baby-proof everything.
Well, the thing I found strange was you talk to one person, they go, "Oh, you got to make your bottles up in the morning, so and then warm up in the afternoon." And then when Ava was born, so someone had said, "Oh, when we had the baby, you had to make your bottles up in the morning, don't make them fresh." And they said, "Oh no, you can't do that anymore. You've got to now make them fresh." Then by the time I came to know it, was like flip flop. They changed their mind again. It's like even like the experts don't know what they're doing. They just go, "Oh yeah, you do this." Nah, you got to do this.
Yeah, you always make sure you have a bottle made up at night, though.
Oh, Ava, we didn't. Ava, we had the old school boil the kettle, make it up, and then cool it down. So Ava was, I think there's a benefit in doing it this way because Ava she'd wake up crying, but she'd have to wait nearly 30 minutes from waking up crying to actually get a bottle. So there was on that demand of like, oh, I want it now and get it now. Whereas we had this Tommy Tippy thing, and it pretty much made it, but it put boiling water in it, did whatever it needed to do, and then it was ready within like 2-3 minutes. So he'd wake up crying within like 3 or 4 minutes later, it's in his mouth. So like it was like he was more demanding, as in like, no, I want it now. Everything I've had so far, you give it like that. Whereas Ava, she had to wait a bit, so she's a bit more patient actually.
Can you imagine if they'd have been able to talk? I know sort of a couple of years age difference between them, but he's like, yeah, do you know what? I got my bottle straight away.
Yeah, no messing. But it's the one thing I tell everyone because, especially at night feeds, I mean, Noah would cry. I'd be out of bed walking downstairs. Ava would go get Noah. Would be like cuddling, and I'll come back upstairs 2 minutes later with a bottle. Off you go, straight to sleep. Back off, wind it down it goes.
It was one thing I remember when there was little was when you're waiting for a bottle and they're screaming it. It is literally like torture.
Yeah,
I'd rather somebody just kick me in nuts and let me deal with that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that one, but yeah.
It's that sleep deprivation, isn't it? And not just that you can't sleep, it's that screaming while you're not that you're trying to get back to sleep, because that's a bit unfair, isn't it? But one up, all up. That was the Remser rules.
Oh yeah. But the other thing, like we were saying, like that was another thing I wasn't ready for. Like, everyone said, "Oh, you can be tired." Yeah, I play up on the computer till 1-2 in the morning. I get up for work at 5. I can operate on a couple of hours sleep. No, I can't.
I remember one thing you said, and we go back to like the fitness stuff and you doing like triathlons and things like that. And you said when Ava was born, nothing would change. You'd still train, you'd still do this, and this. I knew full well that would drop along the wayside, and it did. It naturally does because your mind and your time is taken up elsewhere. And you don't want to be spending 6 hours out your day going for a, big old bike ride on a Sunday when that's family time. You didn't see that coming.
Naively, I'll say I didn't. I genuinely didn't see it coming because, like I say, just naive. Really, it's naivety. Like I said, it's like you're not gonna have all that spare time.
I tell you what, fear-wise, I genuinely think as my kids have got older, as I've got older, my fears are worse now.
Yeah,
way more fears now. Where I just think sometimes I'm properly on edge about stuff. About things like how they're going to afford to buy houses, how they're going to afford to buy a car. It's not something that I've got that disposable income to university. Ellie's put herself through university, but it's just not something I can do. And it's things like that. And then it's things like the stuff that's out of my control, the stuff that goes on online. When they get to sort of them teenage years and you're thinking they're constantly online, is that good things online or is it bad things online? There's too many weirdos out there as well. And it's all that stuff that I can't control. Yeah. They're where my fears are now. So anybody thinking that once you get through parenthood and they get to teenage years and they're sort of a bit self-sufficient, it's like it starts all over again. The fears and worries and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because when we was younger and phones, it's not as bad as it is now. Like I am genuinely the generation of a young person with a phone and the young person with the internet. I was like that era when the two merged, if that makes sense. So for me, it wasn't too bad, and I think I still live in the nostalgia of we was sort of shielded because there wasn't the full access that we had. I mean, Facebook was when I got to college, I think. So like even them sort of we could contact, but it was all MSN, wasn't it, and stuff like that. So it wasn't as easy. It was easy, but not as easy as it is now to be
Yeah,
drilled into everything and anything.
getting on to dial-up was not easy, was it?
No, it wasn't. That was good fun.
It's stuff like that. Have you got a tip? If somebody was to come to you and say, "Look, I'm going to become a parent," what sort of one golden nugget or one tip, what bit of advice could you give?
Well, everyone always says it, but live in the moment of things are happening now. Don't be trying to think about things too far ahead because it goes so fast. And I know everyone says it goes fast, and you go, oh yeah, because I remember people saying to me, it goes so fast. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it goes so fast. And I spend too much time when I could be doing something and then going, oh, I wish I'd done that now. When I could have done that. And it's just the fact that I'm too busy doing whatever. You got to be in it and on it and live in the moment there and then. I think that's my biggest tip. Go with it. Just go with the flow and enjoy
Nice
it.
one. I like that one. Mine would be try and be as open and honest with your kids as possible. It's just so you've got them lines of communication open. So if there is something going on,
Yeah.
bullying or the struggling, or I so worry about like the mental health aspect. I think there's a lot of pressure put on kids. They've got to do this and they've got to look like this and they've got to, we say it all the time, they've got to keep up with the Joneses, haven't they? And all that stuff, as well as going, oh no, I need to get a little job, I need to get a career, I need to learn to drive, I've got to have a boyfriend, prom, all them things that are all sort of hit you at a very similar time. I just hopefully that I'm in a position where my kids would be able to come and sort of talk.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, and I would say start that as young as possible. Talk about everything you possibly can to open them sort of lines of communication. That's my nugget, and I wish I'd have done that a lot younger.
And yeah, I think that's the hardest thing. It's breaking that barrier of parent and the embarrassment of talking to your parents. I had quite a very open relationship where I felt I could go talk to my parents about, but more my mum than my dad. But I could talk about all really with my mum. But I think that was more of a laid back approach to raising a child. I think. So I don't know if Dan and Becky had the same thing because obviously I'm like a different generation back because there's such a big gap between us.
I think I could have done, but I don't think I did.
No, I didn't because I didn't have to. I would put my hands up and say I was very, very lucky in the fact that my childhood was quite straightforward.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I ever had to go to her for any reason, as in like for bullying or anything like that. I was quite an easygoing kid in the fact that I don't know, not really that came my way because I feel so sorry for people like who can't and they're stuck in there and they can't go to somebody because they feel like I think it's more the stigma in it if it comes to it or the embarrassment or
Yeah, possibly,
bad.
possibly. But it's just, I think, like I say, I just think it's so important. Look at us throwing massive amounts of brilliant advice out.
Well, it's just what we've learned in it, and I think that's how our advice goes, isn't it?
Season 2, episode 17, and we've suddenly got serious and got. Actually, we sound like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't though, guys. Truth of the matter, we don't.
We're winging it like everybody else. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the crux of being a parent. You genuinely wing it.
Yeah.
Like, how many times did you, even with Noah, I did this? So you'd think I'd learned my lesson, with Ava, that they're okay. You don't have to. How many times did you go into the room and just check, make sure they're breathing, or just make sure they're okay so far? I still do it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ava's 9, Noah's 6. I still go in and go, yeah, they're okay. They're asleep. What's they going to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do it.
It's because we hear so many stories, though, don't we? That something just happens, and that's illness, accidents, all things like that I can't control. Are those things that get on top of me a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better at that. Where man,
But I'm saying one of life's worries.
Yeah.
That has to be one of my 2022 things. Like you say, I need to stop worrying. We've mentioned it at the beginning anyway.
Yeah, we've gone through this. Very quick, tiny update. No news.
Hey.
Right, give us your plonker of the pod this week.
So I've got three plonkers. I've got
Wow.
three plonkers of the pod.
All for different reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just so one of them is a bit old news, so I'm going to start with that one, and that's Romelu Lukaku, who was a football player for Chelsea, and he came from Juventus. And long story short, he pretty much on TV, spanning on the Italian TV, pretty much said, "Yeah, I'm not enjoying it at Chelsea. I want to come back to Juventus. Juventus is my club." And this whole circus enthralled around it when he knew what he was doing and he just did it out of spite in the fact that he wasn't playing as much football as he wanted to play. It's massively backfired. His apology was appalling as well. They said, yeah, let's let it go and I'll try my best at Chelsea. I'll put money on he won't be there in summer. He'll have gone.
It shouldn't be like that because he's employed, isn't it? You can't just go to your employer and just go, actually, I don't really fancy working here anymore. Let's see if somebody else wants me instead. Or can you? Is that employment law, though? You can just hand your notice in.
You can,
He can't just hand it. He can't just give 4 weeks' notice, can he?
No, he can't. We can, he can't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But he's only employed like everybody else.
No, because his contract's written that he can't do a notice period, isn't it?
Because he's an asset.
He's not he's effectively not an employee, is he? He's like you say, an asset. He's a property. It's like a house, isn't it, type thing. He's completely different. But I just think, what a plonker, because there was no need for the interview. There was no need to say what he said. If you did feel that way, that's something you discuss amongst friends, not on national television in Italy. There's no guarantee he's going to go back there. So what he was thinking is just not made, because Juventus hadn't gone, oh, yeah, we want you back, what a hero and stuff.
Just so people don't come back at us, it was Inter Milan.
Oh, so it was, yeah, that's it. Juventus didn't I? Yeah, sorry, it was Inter, yeah.
Just so we don't get backlash. We get backlash sometimes when we say.
Yeah, to be fair, what a schoolboy error that was.
Right, give you second
the flood. So, the second one is Novak Djokovic. What a disaster this is. Doing my boxing. And I don't think Novak's done anything wrong in this. I think it's the...
You're calling him Novaks on purpose?
Yeah. That's the thing that's going around there. Everyone's calling him Novak Djokovic.
You don't think that's his name, do you?
No. And you've seen everyone calling him Novak.
No, I haven't, no.
So like every headline that is around this is Novak Djokovic, because obviously he's not vaccinated. Now, I don't think he's done anything wrong here. He applied for his visa. He'd said he'd had COVID in December. They said, yes, because you've had COVID, that grants you a visa. It conspired that in November they'd said, this is not a reason. Previously having COVID doesn't allow you to have a visa. You've still got to be vaccinated. Now, this is all down to the Australian government who've gone, yeah. And then the backlash of the people in Australia have gone, why are you bending the rules for sports people? We're citizens of this place. You're chaining us up, locking us down. They've probably got the harshest lockdown regime across the whole world. And then they turn a blind eye for sport, for gain, for money. So there have been big, massive backlash. So they've gone, okay, let's just put him in a containment. So Novak has been caught in the middle of some sort of political, furore when he's done everything he should have done. He just doesn't believe in the vaccination. That's his own cross to bear, whatever. But he shouldn't be dragged across the coals when he's followed the procedures of what he was told he can and can't do. It's ridiculous.
Novaks. What's your third one? Before your head explodes.
So that was more aimed at the Australian sooner than Novaks. And the other one is a woman has been selling or trying to sell LFT tests.
Oh, no.
What an absolute plonker. Yeah. She got massive backlash, but she was guaranteeing that she could get them to somebody the next day for £10. And she said, I've got a massive supply of them. So which means she's been hoarding them, which means she's been taking... I won't give you a name, because I'd actually name her just for being whoever she is. But she lived in the Stoke area. So all you people live in Stoke area.
If it's you.
One big brush I'm casting you on. But I just think, I think we mentioned this. Is that good business? Or is it...
It's unethical. The thing is, people will always take advantage where there is an advantage to be taken. But the ethics of it, when you buy things or you go somewhere, you go them places because that company that you're purchasing from has good ethics.
Yeah.
Generally, in it, you've got all like the fair trade stuff now. Coffee's the big thing, isn't it, about where coffee comes from. Clothes made in, third world countries by 8-year-old kids and they get paid 3p a day. All that type of stuff is stuff that if you knew, for instance, you went down to your local sports shop to buy a t-shirt and you knew that that was made by refugee children of a third world country, you'd probably go, do you know, I'm not going to buy that because ethically it's wrong.
How much is it?
It's a bargain.
I'm having it.
But things like that, and that's the thing in it. It doesn't sit right with you because LFT tests over the last few weeks have been quite hard to come by, and it's just people taking advantage. This person, I'm guessing, is no medical professional either. It's just somebody that's gone, do you know what? I'm just going to get loads of tests free, we may add, from my local council, my local hospital, my local wherever, and then I'm just going to wait, and I'm just going to then, oh, I've got loads, let's start flogging them. It's absolute plonkerness.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, plonker. I don't swear then.
Plonker's as far as we'll go.
Right, there's my 3 plonkers. It's like buses. I've been pulling teeth trying to get my plonkers, and 3 have come across the pond.
Right, so mine is a local.
Like a local.
So, right, this is obviously something that everybody will be able to relate to. It doesn't matter whether you're local. But so I had the girls last weekend and I went to go take them home. And as I took them home, there'd been an accident.
Oh, yeah.
A huge accident just near where you live.
Yeah, right outside my house.
Quite a serious accident, should we say?
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was a car accident. There was a car on its side, kind of on the path, you know, a good, 15 feet from the road?
Yeah.
So it's moved an awful long way. Then there was a van that was caved in as well. So the traffic was moving slow as I went past it. Brilliant. No, not a problem at all. Got round the corner. There was people coming down the street, putting their coats on to go have a look. And I'm not just saying people. There was parents with kids. Bear in mind, this is Sunday night. They'd got the kids up. They got the kids up. They was in pyjamas. And they were putting coats on and walking down the street to go see what's happened. It beggars belief that people go, oh, there's a flashing light outside. Let's all go look, see what's happening. And then within 10, 15 minutes of this happening, there was pictures on Facebook. And to be fair, people were backlashing, saying, look, you don't know the seriousness of this. If somebody's, God forbid it didn't, luckily, if somebody had died in that accident,
oh yeah,
you're taking pictures and your first thought is gone, let's get this on Facebook. It just beggars belief what people are thinking. I don't get it.
I agree. Obviously, it was right outside my house, so we was in the dining room. We had the big clatter in the bank, so I was like, what was that? So I said, oh, I bet someone, because we live on quite a big main road. I said, I bet someone's hit one of the cars. So I went out to have a look, looked at left and was like, oh, no, they haven't. Looked at right, and obviously everyone was going over at Crossroads. I was like, Jesus. So I quickly grabbed my phone, rang ambulance, because obviously I must have been one of the first ones out near enough. Because like when I looked around the street, no one else was out at this moment in time. So I'm on the phone ringing. Mrs. comes running out, so she went out and like pretty much, because I had COVID at the time, so I couldn't even leave the front of my garden, if that makes sense. So she ran across, and I'm ringing ambulance. Then my neighbours came out, and then so it was always like for all, and then I was on phone to ambulance, and then Mrs. took it off because obviously I couldn't see where I was, I couldn't get any closer. So she went over and was saying what was going on. Then this woman came who was like a prison guard, so she sort of took over, and she like took over the phone and things like that. So like you say, and then next thing, I like went inside to make sure the kids were okay. Came back outside, and there was just people everywhere. It was like someone like, go, everybody, come on down. So everyone came down. So then we was outside. It was all starting to calm down, and we were talking to next door. And then this woman appears, and she was talking to us, and was like, "Who are you?" And then neighbours like, "Oh," and then she said to me, "she said, oh, I'm from around the corner." And I was like, "Oh, right, yeah." When I say around the corner, we're talking quite far away around the corner. And she come around having a conversation, asking what was going on and stuff. And I was like, wow.
I don't know what people was hoping to see.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine taking your kids down road, going, oh, there's been an accident. Come on, kids, let's go have a look. And then seeing somebody's like leg hanging off or something like that. What's going on in your mind?
The obviously as well, it was like on a crossroads, and one of the crossroads is like, it's like not a dead end, but it's a really quiet street. And then you've got the main road that runs through, and then you've got like a busy road that joins onto it. And the the fire engine had come and blocked up one of the main roads, but it was hanging over enough to try and block the main busy road, if that makes sense. But people was like, if I came to it, I'd be like, oh, I'm turning around and I'd go back, if that makes sense. People went around the fire engine and then around the police officers and then was going like past the incident, but really slow. And I was like, what are these people doing? Even to the point where they had to then get people that was there, watching, get them to say, can you start telling people to turn around? Because people was coming through it all. One guy on a bike came through the whole Malor where they was cutting, like, they were grinding the car. This guy comes on a bike and just came through it all middle of it, like, to it through. I was like, this is unbelievable.
This is the sort of lower end for me. This is the lower end of society that you think not only that it's acceptable, but you think that, I mean, what are you hoping to see? But yeah, so those people, you are my collated Plonker of the pods. That's bizarre.
I just want to say there's 2 videos. We put some new videos on TikTok, so get yourself along to our TikTok and have a look and support, share. So get on trying to boost our TikTok out at the moment, trying to get them up and going.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's anything that you want us to recreate on TikTok, let us know. Once we're out of this situation, we'll hopefully be back in Studio 1 next week. Yeah, absolutely. Right, mate, I will see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday, my friend.
You keep yourself smiling.
Stay safe, mate.
Thank you for listening right to the end of this week's podcast, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at dad_tales_, or get involved by emailing us at dadtales@outlook.com. You can also now join our Facebook page by searching Dad Tales.
Keep the feedback coming. We are genuinely humbled by all the input and the comments you're providing us. Stay safe, celebrate small victories, and keep smiling.